So today, I and my esteemed colleague Steve, my name is Disha Rastogi, will be talking about reinventing productivity with Office 365 ProPlus. We're very excited to have you, and there's three things that we want to cover in this presentation today. We want to talk to you about what Office 365 ProPlus is. Now, many of you probably know, but even though you know, there's parts of Office 365 ProPlus where somebody who's an IT pro who's deployed it recently have come to me and said, oh, we didn't know that was a benefit, or we didn't know that this existed. So I really do want to take some time to talk through what ProPlus is. And then I want to talk about what ProPlus does for you, and as an organization, why do you need ProPlus now? And finally, we're going to talk about some next steps. Now, this is a bit of a show and tell. We'll spend most of our time in the second part of this presentation, and Steve's going to show us some really cool feature demos in there. And then we'll kind of give you a set of next steps, some sessions to go attend, as well as some really cool things to go look at in the expo hall. With that, let's get started. How many of you, show of hands, how many of you have ProPlus in their organizations already? Woohoo! I'm talking to the converted. That's wonderful. Well, what is Office 365 ProPlus? It's the apps you know and love. It's Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, as well as Access Publisher, OneDrive, and Skype for Business. The apps you know and love. It's licensed on a per user basis, which means each user gets 5 PC or Mac installs. That's an important one. If you have Macs in your company, this is the one license that you can take, and a user can have Office across their PC and Mac. It's got 5 tablets and phones, which means if you're mobile, which I think everyone is now, this is the one license you need, your users need, to have access to Office on their mobile devices. It comes with the web versions. You're in a hotel, you don't have access to your device, you can log in, and you can get straight to the documents and apps that you know and love, right? And then it comes with 1 terabyte of cloud storage. All of this mobility that I talked about works because of this 1 terabyte of cloud storage. You save your documents in this cloud storage, your context, your documents are preserved in the cloud, which means wherever you are, whatever device you're on, you're able to use those documents and access them as if you're at home on your home device. So that's kind of the end user perspective. This is a user license, and the user gets these values from having ProPlus. What about IT? From the IT side of the house, this is the one deployment that you do, one big deployment that you do, and then the rest of the work is to try to keep this up to date. Up to date can be a two-edged sword. Sometimes it is the name for we're going to update something and you're not going to know. That is not what this is, and I want to be very, very clear about this, right? With ProPlus, we publish updates on a monthly cadence, but sometimes a large enterprise can't really take them on a monthly cadence. And so we have semi-annual updates. You can take a targeted semi-annual branch. You can test your apps, your macros, and decide to take a specific semi-annual branch or not. Each one of these semi-annual branches is supported for 18 months, and that basically gives you flexibility where you can take it every 6 months, you can take it in a year's time, and sometimes extend it a little beyond a year as well. So given that, you're always up to date, and you're in control as IT to make sure that your users have the best possible experience. It's secure and compliant, which is obviously a big deal for most of IT. And then if you need help with deploying it, it comes with fast track assistance. So if you have an old version of Office, if you have complex applications, if you have certain legacy scenarios, come to Fast Track. Fast Track is there to help you. It's a free service that comes with ProPlus, and we help you deploy ProPlus in your organization. And then it comes with 24/7 phone support for when you need help beyond that. Another key thing to understand with ProPlus is that it is part of the modern desktop. I don't know if you've been to other modern desktop sessions. There's lots and lots and lots of emphasis at Microsoft in saying to you, shift to the modern desktop. And the reason we're saying this to you is we really believe that with Windows 10 and Office 365 Pro Plus, you have the best possible experience. And then you take the work out of deployment, you start to go into these updates, and you start to make sure that your end users, I need water, your end users see value on a regular basis. Value that is similar and competing with their consumer lives. Because as a consumer, you see apps, they update, there's new features, there's new functionality, there's things that help you. And that is what your end users carry into the organization and the enterprise. And the modern desktop is the safe, secure, compliant, productive way to make sure that your end users feel that they're on the cutting edge and that they are productive in the best possible way. And this isn't just lip service. I would like to say that this is something that we've verified. So we commissioned the study with Forrester. This is a total economic impact study. It was done this last spring and summer. And we talked to a bunch of organizations. We had Forrester go out and survey a bunch of organizations. And after meeting with some organizations who were on the modern desktop, as well as organizations that were on Windows 10, Windows 7, or Office 2010, they came back with this assessment. They created a composite organization with 5,000 seats. 700 of these are mobile workers. And they said, on average, a 5,000-seat organization like this saves $7.2 million in total cost of ownership. That is a massive, massive, massive saving for the business. But that's not all. It's a 13-month payback. That is, in 13 months, you're sort of break even. It lowers your security risk by 40%. Now, if you were to go and read this report, which I highly recommend you do, there's a link at the bottom of the screen, you will find that this 40% lower security risk, the 2.3 hours of time saved, they've all been quantified. And that number, that dollar value over 3 years, is actually to the tune of $27 million, right? What I'm giving you is the very conservative view of the world with the modern desktop. Many of you have larger organizations, so obviously your savings are in the multiples of this. And then if you think about the 2.3 hours saved per week per user, it's one of those numbers which is so, I would say, deceptive. You look at that number and you think, small saving, 2.3 hours per user per week. When you do the math right, for a 5,000-person organization, that means 100 more people for the year. That's a ton of people. And that's the kind of savings you get that we haven't quantified in this $7.2 million. You see it in the whole study. Highly recommend it. We really believe that with Windows 10 and Office Pro Plus, the modern desktop is the most productive, most secure, and the lowest total cost of ownership way of getting to the future. One other thing. We released Office 2019 yesterday. Do you guys know about that? Yes?
Yes.
And do you all believe that your organization should think about deploying that or getting those bits? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Now, let me talk to you about what Office 2019 is and how it is different from Pro Plus. Every 3 years, like clockwork, Microsoft releases a new version of Office, right? You know that many of you have SAs. The benefits are tied to this. You kind of get the rights to the next version. 3 years go past, we have another version of Office come out. And similar to how we've done it in the past, Office 2016 came out 3 years ago, and then Office 2019 came out yesterday. But is Office 2019 the latest in Office? Is it the best version of Office? I want to say to you this here today, it's emphatically not the best version of Office. The best version of Office is Pro Plus. As we look to the future, as we look to making the right improvements, what we're finding, a lot of the right improvements that we make for Office, for the experience of the end users, for the IT pros, the right way to do this is to really use the cloud, the power of mobility. And to do that, you need the clients to be connected to the services. That's what ProPlus is. Many of the feature innovations that we're making, many of the intelligent features, the collaborative features, they really require you to be connected. And therefore, ProPlus, right out the gate, is way, way better than Office 2019. So if you're looking to put your organization on the latest is Office 365 ProPlus. It is not Office 2019. Office 2019 is for those organizations that, for some reason, believe that they're not ready to be cloud connected. And these could be valid reasons like, well, you're in a regulated industry, you're on an air-gapped network, or these could be just internal readiness reasons. That said, if you're looking to the future, if you're looking to make sure that you're on the latest, it really is ProPlus. So there's 4 or 5 key defining trends that you've probably heard a lot about through this conference, through any conference you go to, even when you kind of read about the future of IT. Mobility is one. Everybody has a mobile device. Collaboration is another. People are typically on twice as many teams than they were 5 years ago. And the number of teams you work on seems to be multiplying. The complexity of keeping up with what other people are doing, how they interact with your area is going up. And it's really important to be collaborative to get the best value out of whatever you're doing. Data. You've kind of all sort of dealt with the influx of data, the little flood that is sort of threatening to break the dam. Because data today is exploding, it's been hard, but it's supposed to multiply 3 times between now and the next year, and 10 times by the time you get to 2020. The amount of data in the world multiplies by 10 by the time we get to 2020. We're almost all the way through 2018. Given that, making sure that your data is safe, secure, compliant, and used the right way is a key imperative for most organizations. Finally, intelligence. I don't know if you guys ever scan LinkedIn or scan sort of job postings. It's stunning how many companies have how many AI jobs right now. Pretty much every discipline where there is some degree of data, some degree of security requirements, some degree of collaboration requirement, AI is rampant. And AI is taking off, and some people wonder whether it's a fad, but I think it's here to stay because there's almost nothing that can help us with this flood of data as much as AI would. And finally, security. All of these factors that I just talked about complicate getting to a secure environment. Mobility. Users bring their own devices. They're, I don't know, at a beach sometimes, and they want to work. Collaboration. They're working with each other. They don't want to keep anything only in their location. Data, intelligence, and security. You get to be the person who makes sure that your organization is secure, while all of these other imperatives mean that you have to open the walls, you have to let people have what they need, and you have to keep going faster and faster to make sure that the organization is productive. And so this is kind of the way I would say we believe ProPlus helps you. There's Office Perpetual on one side. There's ProPlus on the other side. Office Perpetual is really meant for the way we used to work yesterday. Some of us work like that today, but most of us don't. And certainly going into the future, we will work in a way that's more collaborative, that's more mobile, that requires more intelligence, that sort of processes data faster. All of that is Office ProPlus. Office ProPlus is our answer for ever-evolving needs, and it keeps evolving, which means it is the final thing that you deploy in your organization, and then your job is to keep it up to date, and our job is to make sure the right functionality shows up and you're in pace with the times. With that, I'm going to hand it to Steve to show some of the new features and functionality in Office 365 ProPlus.
Thank you very much, Disha. Disha's my boss, so when she said, some people are working from the beach, or at least attempt to appear that they're working from the beach, for the record, on camera here, I've never worked from the beach. Now that we've got that cleared up. So we wanted to go through some demos and show you kind of how this stuff works in action. The hardest part of this whole session, honestly, was determining from the dozens of demos, things that drive collaboration and creativity and security, what few we could focus on and still get you out in time for lunch. We do have a slide at the end that talks about some other sessions that you can consume either here at the conference or on your own time afterwards. They go into much more detail about Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and what have you. So with that, let's switch here to talk about kind of a typical scenario of a locked screen. Yeah. And I am not Steve Kahn. I'm actually Megan Bowen, just to be a little bit more confusing. So Megan is working on a marketing document, this quadcopter marketing document. She decides she'd like to get some help from one of her colleagues, just finishing up one of the paragraphs so she can focus on something else. So she has sent an email to her compatriot. And now I'm over on this machine. I am Alex Wilbur, a man of many hats. Right. The legacy, the old way of doing things, the perpetual office way of doing things, Megan would have sent an attachment with the document to Alex. Alex would have done his edits and maybe forwarded it to another colleague to make some edits, and Megan would have to collate 3 different sets of documents to figure out what the right combination is to make her new document. It's not the case, the cloud storage that Disha mentioned. Instead, Megan's got this document stored in her OneDrive. She can easily and quickly and securely share it with Alex. Alex can forward it on to other people if he'd like. There is a single copy of this document in the cloud, a single source of truth. If Alex does something crazy, accidentally deletes all the pages of the document with version history, she can just recover the earlier version. But Alex isn't that kind of guy. He's going to be helpful. So he's opened the document, and here he is going to be helping to collaborate. So if I switch back over here, well, now let's just stay here with Alex just for a second, because he has to figure out what he's supposed to be doing. He's going to type, "Hi, Megan. How can I help?" Like I said, super helpful guy. And if I switch back over to Megan again, right? Oh, she's got this chat window. "Hey, Megan, how can I help?" Hi. Whoops. Unfortunately, Megan has me typing for her. Hi, paragraph 2. Okay, I'm going to leave it on Megan here for a minute and just jump in here as Alex. You can see here paragraph 2 seems to kind of leave off in an incomplete sentence. Understand your customers, anticipate their future requirements. Nothing. So Alex is going to just jump in here. How about anticipate their future requirements and meet their needs. That sounds great. Oh, I can see here, Megan sees that Alex Wilbur is indeed making some changes. Oh, and meet their needs. Great. Alex has done his job. Isn't he a great guy? So Megan is going to move along then, because she's got some more things she needs to do to this document. For one thing, she's realizing they're going to be talking later on here about Wi-Fi enabled cameras, and she has to really have kind of a reason for doing that. Of course, she could use her fingers and type, but if Megan is more of an expressive person, she likes to kind of use her hands, use her voice, she can use her voice and just dictate to Word. A groundbreaking advancement is the Wi-Fi camera. Yeah, stunning, huh? Let's try that again. Wake up here. A stunning advancement is the Wi-Fi camera. Okay, just in case Megan's microphone was not working, I've actually got Alex set up as well. Yeah, Alex's microphone isn't working either. Let's just skip on ahead of the dictation then and go to something even more amazing. Or I could just ask everyone in here to turn off all your mobile devices so I can have all the network bandwidth. That would be great too. We've got a customer quote here from one of our customers in Europe, and it's a wonderful quote. We probably need to translate it, though, into English so that then we can have the document all in English and then translate it into dozens of languages around the world. So if I go into my review tab here, I can just click Translate. I don't even need to know what language this is. My high school says that this is probably Spanish. Oh, and it is. Captures stunning landscape panoramas. The Wi-Fi, oh, there's our mention of Wi-Fi, and expert control. That sounds right. Let's just go ahead and insert that change. All right, and away we go. Pretty straightforward and simple. Sure, I could have jumped out into Bing Translator or your favorite other translation tool and pasted the information in here. I stayed in this single pane. I stayed focused on my task and just let Word handle that for me. Now I've made some changes here. I probably want to do a little cleanup work because I can see I've got some problems here. Could I run spell check back in, oh, let's say Office 2000? Sure, I could run spell check. But English is also a language of homophones, right? Words that sound the same even though they're spelled differently and mean different things. So instead, I'm going to use the full power of editor here. And I'm going to find, oh yeah, I've got some spelling errors, I've got some grammar problems, I've got some refinements I can do. I could just click and say, take care of all this for me. I want to actually see a little bit of what editor has found. So like in this one, yes, it's THEIR customers. Yep, that's a good catch. Probably fixed that one well up. At the same time, a number of amazing technologies. Do I have anything else here I should maybe take a look at? Oh, has lead the camera market. That should probably be led instead, huh? Let's just go ahead and take care of that. Oh, yep, we got another little grammar checkup here. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff, but it's exactly what I want Word to do. To go through and take my kind of stream of consciousness, my words I've typed down here, and make the changes for me in real time. Right? That's some examples of a few things in Word. Now let's click over and take a look at some things that the Excel team has been doing. So Contoso has some partners. They do some arbitrage for these partners. They have to keep a pretty close look on some volatile things like stock price and market capitalization and that sort of thing. So I've got my, my stock chart here. Anybody know what those stock tickers are, the single letter stock tickers? Ford is the first one. Very good. Very good. T is AT&T, for 2 for 2. Think breakfast cereal, Kellogg, yep. And then finally, maybe a hotel chain close by. Hyatt, yeah, absolutely. So Excel's new data types, I can just highlight my stock tickers here, click on stocks, it's gone out and figured these cryptic symbols out for me, exactly who these are. And as you can see, I've got a little kind of a logo next to those words. Add a column. Oh, look at that, a whole bunch of useful stock information on these companies. Let's see, maybe I am really concerned about their market capitalization. Ooh, way too much money, need to make this bigger. So that's probably a useful thing for me in my arbitrage. and then probably the change overall. Could I go out to Bing or insert your favorite search engine here and look up the stock price? Yeah, absolutely. I just had Excel do it for me. Excel can also do some stuff like, let's see maybe where their headquarters is. Right? As you might imagine, headquarters for Fortune 50 companies don't change very often. AT&T did about 10 years ago, moving from San Antonio to Dallas. Most of them are pretty stable. How about market capitalization? That's pretty stable, isn't it? It only changes multiple times a second, right? So I could monitor this in real time, just keep hitting refresh in my browser, or I could just let Excel do it for me, right? Refresh all. Yeah. Take whatever changes have happened. The headquarters haven't moved, big surprise, right? I can let Excel go out knowing these data types and continually let me know as things change. Right? Excel also has the ability to take some pretty stable, kind of boring looking data and give me insights about it. For example, here I've got some locations and some sales figures. If I were really an Excel gearhead, I could create some pivot tables and pivot charts and maneuver things around. I don't know about you, that's always frightened me, right? I'm a simple guy. So being able to do something just a little bit easier here, I click on the Ideas tab, and let Excel go out on my behalf, look at the data, and suggest some insights I might have. Now, before any of you get frightened, Excel is not taking my sales data and giving it exactly as is to Office 365 to do some work on it. It's saying, hey, got some strings of numbers, got what look like dates here, got some locations, right? The actual information isn't shared, just the type of information. So it is still secure, stays with me. Excel goes out and says, hey, I found a couple different charts that might be useful for you. Especially, this July by location, I've got one location that looks like it's performing pretty poorly, right? The low bar chart there. So simple things, they can make a big difference in how we manage this influx of data that we're getting inundated with day by day. The third thing we'd like to walk through is our good old friend PowerPoint. PowerPoint has for years been something that those of us who create a lot of slide decks love and maybe kind of wish we didn't have to spend as much time with on the occasional basis, right? Because it can take a lot of work. If you're not a creative person, like I am not, it can take you some time, can take you some work. So we've done some things to try to make things a little bit better and a little bit easier. And speaking of better and easier, how many people do you suppose on our planet have some form of disability? How about this young man in the front row here? Any guesses? He guesses 17. Good. That's a valiant guess. It's a little low. The answer is actually 1 billion. I always sound like Mike Myers there, Austin Powers. 1 billion. 1 billion people who have some form of disability. For many of those, it is not a visible thing. You would have no idea. Somebody who has a learning disability, right? Or a hearing issue. Sometimes it's a temporary issue. They've broken a leg and they're in a cast. They can't get around well. Right? Regardless, we can make things easy for people of all abilities to consume. Even something as simple as a screen reader, right? If someone with low vision may not be able to see this slide deck, they would have an assistive screen reader giving them the information they need. And I actually am not showing that slide deck, am I? Let me switch back over here. This will make this a much more compelling demo. So I want to be able to, without an assistive screen reader, hear back, what does this sound like?
Create designer-grade presentations in minutes.
Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Somebody with a screen reader could probably intuit what it is I'm saying there by being able to play that back. What about other accessibility checks? Things I might not even know about. I've got accessibility checking right here in the foreground. I can run through an accessibility check and figure out things that I may not know that would impact somebody with different abilities. Well, look at this warning, checking reading order. Until PowerPoint gave me this capability, I did not know that screen readers don't go visually top to bottom on a slide. Screen readers go in the order you typed. So these bullet points are nowhere near the way that I had initially laid them out. If I didn't run this accessibility check, somebody with a screen reader would read this in the wrong order, right? So accessibility checker is going to offer to clean up here these various reading order mistakes that I've made so that my document can be more accessible to all. One more thing I want to talk through with you, which is the humble meeting. All right, something as simple as creating a meeting request. We do this all the time, right? We as much as we've got Teams and Skype for Business and real-time communications, we all still do email. We send each other meeting requests. So how can we make that any different? Well, let's see here. Meeting for review the doc. The first thing that we do is suggest people that might be included in the meeting, right? This is my analytics, the Office graph delve at work. They have seen who it is that are my colleagues, who am I in a group with, who have I been communicating and collaborating with recently, and they suggest those might be the people I meet with. Right, so let's go ahead and choose someone here. Right, I've got my date and time. Let's make it 12:30. Wait a second, I chose the date and time before I chose the location. That's backwards from how we usually do that. Right? Really simple reason. You choose the room and then you find the date and time, or you choose the date and time and then you find the room. If you choose the room first, you may find that when you want to book it, it is not available, right? It's a shared resource that you can book. If you choose the date and time first, then we only show you the rooms that actually have openings at that time, right? So here's the list of rooms that are available at my chosen date and time. I'm going to go ahead and book Adams here. Right? All of those changes are very simple, very small changes. Stacked together, they become meaningful. And that's what you'll see a lot this week in the Office apps and ProPlus in particular, is small steps, meaningful changes that when you put them all together, bring you that 2.3 hours a week of additional productivity that Disha mentioned in the TEI study. Speaking of Disha, I want to bring her back to close out our session here. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
So guys, Steve showed you some of the stuff that's come to ProPlus. That's not all. There's a lot more. I encourage you all to go to the expo and look at some of the demos that we have there. We showed you everything that we showed you is in the product now. None of this is coming soon or you will see it in the future. This is all in the product now. If you went and deployed even the semi-annual branch, most of this functionality would show up on your PCs today. And there is a lot more in ProPlus. I really encourage you, go look at the expo booth and get some demos. It is really, really exciting, the work we've done with ProPlus. Coming back to the slide. I talked to you about Perpetual, I talked to you about ProPlus, and I said Perpetual is really about the way we used to do work in the past. ProPlus is the way we do work in the future, the way we do work today, right? There's other factors that you want to consider. ProPlus is the way we believe the future looks. It saves you time, it saves you money, and there are some real imperatives, some real milestones coming up that anyway force your organization to look for a change. And at this time of change, consider ProPlus, evaluate it well, and you will see it is the product that makes sense for the organization. Now, Windows 7, end of life coming in January 2020, and then Office 2010, end of life is coming in October 2020. So big year. If your organization is on either of these, it's time to move to the modern desktop. The other thing that's happening is slightly less well known, but something that you should all be aware of too. If you have Office 2013 connecting to services, Office 365 services like Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, any of those, then what's happening in 2020 is that the services are no longer able to support Office 2013. What that means, the connection's not going to break, right? If you have Outlook and you are working with Exchange Online, it'll continue to work till it hits a point in time where there is a change in the service that doesn't work with the Office 2013 client. It's really hard for us as an organization to keep providing you the next generation innovation, to keep providing you these great services, to keep moving them to intelligent and collaborative futures, and keep taking care of clients that are old. Also for your end users, like I said, the experience of having an older version of Office really isn't great. It doesn't compete well or compare well with what they get in their consumer lives, and it certainly is not the way to make them the most productive and ready for the future. Given all of that, there's quite a few reasons. It's the value in ProPlus, there's the amazing new end user features in ProPlus, and then there are these milestones that are all coming up that all signal a need for change within your organization, and it really is time to move forward. And we're making it easier for you. So while it's time to move forward, we recognize it's hard, and there's many things that we're doing to make it easier. Again, there's going to be tons of sessions to talk about how we're making it easier for you. We'll list some of them, but let me talk through some of those changes really quickly. How many of you saw this M365 Admin Center announcement yesterday? So this was announced. It's a common admin center. We used to have more than 28 different places for you to go to keep track of all the different things you're doing as an IT pro with Microsoft 365. There's one place. We've brought it down to 6 dashboards, and this is the one place for you to go if you have ProPlus, if you have Windows 10, and to see how your organization is doing on Microsoft 365. So the Admin Center is a big change, and again, it's cross-company as you're starting to see more of our investments be. The second thing, if you're going to ProPlus from Office 2010, you're going to ProPlus from Office 2016, MSI versions, the MSIs were really hard to remove off your PCs. We've made it drop dead simple, right? Whether you use Config Manager, this is a Config Manager view, or you don't, there's a visual way for you to say that I want to wipe old MSI installs off my devices, and I want to go to the next version and install ProPlus. It's really simple. No matter what tools you're using, we've made it really simple for you to go forward. Desktop analytics. Another thing that was announced a few weeks ago, it's coming out towards the end of this year. What is this? App compat is a big problem. It happens to be a big problem across many industries, and we recognize it's a big problem. But what you've not had in the past is you've not had a single way to look at all the apps that people in your organization use and say which ones work out of the box, which ones don't, right? Backed by analytics, backed by the power of the cloud, we now have this ability to run a tool, the desktop analytics tool, and look across Windows and Office and say which apps are compatible out of the box, which apps are not. What are the pilot groups that you have to go select to make sure that your organization is represented the right way, pilot with those groups, and then go forward, right? And in case some apps break, which they will, right, we have your back. The desktop app assure service was another thing that was announced yesterday. And what that does is basically allows you to bring us your broken apps. You have to bring us broken apps that actually used to work on a previous version. But once you do that, we fix it for you. We partner with you, we assign an engineer, and they work with you to get it fixed. And then there's Fast Track. I talked about Fast Track already. I will mention it again. There is a service that is a free service that's a benefit of Office 365 that will help you get to ProPlus. So just to kind of recap very quickly, we have the best value in ProPlus. We're making it easier for end users and for IT. There's a ton of different imperatives, milestones coming up. And getting onto ProPlus and staying onto ProPlus is just going to get easier and easier and easier. So it really is time to move. You're not alone in doing this. We have small, big, massive organizations taking part in this motion to ProPlus and to Windows 10. And all these organizations are actually seeing the benefits. So get started today. There's a set of sessions here. The ones on the left top are the ones that are really around the end user productivity pieces. There's a PowerPoint session. There was one on Excel already, so you can view it on demand. And then there's a set of sessions that are very, very targeted on how to get deployed on ProPlus. So go look at those sessions. And that is for today, but your next steps really should be to get to the modern desktop, get desktop analytics, figure out your environment, and make sure that you shift from Office to Office 365 ProPlus. That's it. Questions? Please come forward to the mic and you can ask. Yeah, hopefully. Can't say.
Nope. Okay. Did I hear it? There it goes. Okay, so one of the slides when you were showing all what's available in Office, you had PC behind Access and I think it was Publisher.
Yes.
Are those only available on the PC, not on the Mac?
Yes.
And Visio's not represented there, but I know Visio's not available on the Mac. Is there any roadmap to get those compatible on Mac?
I don't think there is. I believe Visio Online is already available. So it's available on the web, and we believe that most people on most platforms can get it that way.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Anything else? Yes.
Hi, yeah. OneNote is being removed from the Office suite. Is that correct?
Wow. I wouldn't put it that way.
Okay.
So OneNote innovation is coming in the OneNote Universal app. This app is already packaged with Windows 10, and it shows up in Windows 10. The next version of Office, Office 2019, comes with OneNote 2016, the previous version of the Win32 app. So that exists. And then all of the future investments that the OneNote team is making, they're certainly spending their time in the Universal app that is available already by default on Windows 10.
Any type of migration strategy for that? Will ProPlus eventually remove OneNote from the install? Will that be a manual uninstall? Will the new client maybe take over for kind of like the OneDrive sync client thing? You know what I mean?
I think these are really good questions. So there's a migration strategy for sure. And again, I encourage you to come to our booth and we can talk you through it for your organization. How do you move from OneNote Win32 to OneNote Universal?
And you guys are on the floor at the Expo Center. You said
Yes.
your booth. What was that number?
What's the booth number?
In the modern workplace, if you look for the big glowing orb,
Okay.
just past security, we're that area.
Thank you.
We are not removing any OneNote from existing machines. So if you've got 10,000 machines with OneNote 2016, you install ProPlus. We're not going to pull the old OneNote off of there. New computers, you buy a new one and configure it, deploy it. It won't have 2016 deployed. It will have the Universal app. You can separately deploy 2016 to the new computers. The thought being the Universal app is the same app on Mac Android, iOS, web. So it's the exact same experience across all the platforms versus you've got all these other platforms that are the same, and then you've got the Windows one that's different, that doesn't have the same functionality, et cetera. So that's kind of the path forward. But we will not remove it from any existing machine. You can keep deploying it if that best suits your needs at the moment.
Thank you. Did you have a question? Anyone?
Oh, we've got one over here.
Okay.
Data types in Excel.
Yes.
Is it possible to define your own custom data sets that you can use, or they just come out of the box?
I'd like to phone a friend, please. Yana, is it possible to define your own custom data types in Excel?
No, you can't do it right now. Now we only release the stocks and geographies, which is standard, most universal. So might do it in future.
So I'll repeat your answer, which is today you can do it. You can define custom data types over a period of time. That is something we're looking into. We've certainly heard a few requests to that order this week. So definitely one for consideration. We'll let you know. But awesome.
With that, we're officially over time, so we'll stop here. We'll stay up front and answer any more questions. Thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate your coming.